Hello, this is Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica, and today we're going to talk about the difference between a hard style swing and a soft style swing. In kettlebells, you have several different styles of kettlebell training. The two main ones you run across are hard style and soft style. Hard style, you are intentionally creating as much radiating tension as possible to get as much strength development out of it. In soft style, you are trying to be as efficient as possible. Let's walk our way through a couple variations of the two-handed kettlebell swing in order to demonstrate these differences. Our hard style swing is the most common type of swing because it's the easiest to learn because it has the least number of things you have to think about. In hard style, we will point our feet generally straight ahead. Some people will turn out if they have a barbell background. I like to do the feet straight ahead. The key thing about hard style is that we are standing all the way up at the top, we are squeezing our glutes, and we are breathing behind the shield. The most common way to coach this is arms to parallel or slightly under. If you lift your arms up so high that you lose the connection between your pelvis and your ribs, then you've gone too high. People like gymnasts or dancers who are really good at pushing their rib cage down can lift their arms up higher in order to get a slightly greater range of motion on the kettlebell, which makes it slightly heavier as it falls. If you are not a gymnast or a dancer, probably go parallel to the ground or slightly below. Let's demonstrate. Heels stay flat on the ground the entire time. Kettlebell starts out in front. Tip the kettlebell back, hike the kettlebell back, and then snap your hips up to drive the movement. We have a bunch of videos on this and you can go back and watch all of them for all the key details. The most important points being at the top of the movement, hips finish, so the glutes come on, pull the kneecaps up, and breathe behind the shield. Lat drives down to connect the lat to the core, to the hip. Now let's talk about our T-Rex swing, as I like to call it. Other people will call this the elbows down version of the swing. In this version, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to leave our elbows near our hips and we're going to T-Rex our arms up. Because our arm is essentially shorter in this position, the kettlebell has a little bit less force production, so the kettlebell seems a little bit lighter. The idea is that the elbows stay low so people can fire the lat harder and harder and harder. If people are having trouble engaging their lats, then this is the version that it tends to go to. Hard style swings tend to move towards this as the weight gets heavier and heavier and heavier. Usually above 32K, going to the full arm extension can be pretty hard on people and people can lose their lat connection up into the 48K range. So this is an adaptation that can be used for heavier weights. 2 feet point generally straight ahead. The bottom half is generally the same. It's just instead of straight arms, get to T-Rex arms. It's just a simple modification. The elbow position is different between that and a hard style. Now let's talk about one of the versions of a soft style swing. On this version, there is going to be a double bounce. With hard style, down at the bottom, up at the top. Down at the bottom, up at the top. With the double bounce, go down, straighten the legs out, and then scoop your way up. This version is kind of the basis of a lot of the soft style movements. You're trying to make it easier on yourself. With the hard style, the kettlebell weighs the most at this point. In the soft style, we are taking that load away by straightening our legs for a second and allowing the weight to float. Think about it as adding a rest phase or more of a rest phase at the bottom of the swing. I say you practice all of these versions of swings because you will notice different types of box jumps at different rhythms use both of these different leg positions. Let's demonstrate it again. Our starting position is generally the same. You can do a soft style right off the bat, but for the most part, I have people start with their hard style load, stand up, and then add soft style into their remaining reps. And then finish with that hard style set down. Different coaches will teach this differently all over the world, depending on their client's needs. I find this is the easiest way to get people to move into soft style swings. Kettlebell out in front, 2 hands on, feet pointed generally straight ahead, hard style, and double bounce. Straighten the legs at the back, stand up. Straighten the legs, 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 straighten the legs. Top and bottom, bottom and top. Set it down with good technique. We're going to talk about this more and more as we go forward. When you move into longer types of sets, moving away from reverse pyramids, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, moving into time under tension, you can use both, depending on the weight that you are at. I like time under tension kettlebells, and I do it in a weird way, marathon times with a bunch of different exercises thrown in, instead of just doing one exercise for a long period of time. But the beauty of kettlebells is you can do them however you want. You can do a set of hard style swings. You can do a set of double bounce swings. You can do a set of T-Rex swings. You can modify kettlebells in any way you want to in order to continue to get more and more out of the same piece of equipment.